The line's busy.
We're live.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the New York State Bridge Authority meeting, Thursday, June 20th. We have our commissioners and our acting executive director on the table and our council. I'm going to go to my left, going around the table, Commissioner Ron Dressel, Commissioner Diane Dombrowski, Commissioner Roger Higgins, Commissioner Harry Stanton, Councilor Carl Whitback, Acting Executive Director Tara Sullivan, and myself, Richard Gerantine, as chairman. And saying all that, adoption of the annual regular board minutes of May 16, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, any additions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have our Administrative Resources, Bob Russo. They're both.
Yeah, that was for both.
And
Yeah,
one regular.
no problem.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Robert?
I'm well.
That's good to hear.
I have one item under administration. Last year at this time you awarded a contract for cleaning services on this campus and at the Mid-Hudson Bridge to Prospect Cleaning Services of Brooklyn, New York. And we've had a year's worth of experience with them. They did a great job. They're both certified, dual certified as a MBE and WBE. And the agreement provided for the option to renew for 3 one-year periods. And we'd like to go ahead and recommend a renewal effective July 1st with Prospect Cleaning at an amount not to exceed $33,907. That includes a little bit of an adjustment to, in hindsight, we felt that we needed to add a few more hours to their work on a monthly basis because in order to be able to do the deep cleaning that we need at our facilities, we're getting the daily cleaning, but we'd like to have a little bit more effort, time and effort put in. So the amount is reflected of that.
So they come from New York?
No, they have a local,
Let's move it.
Some
yeah.
Second? Okay. Rod, go on.
Yeah, okay. Just-
Yeah, they hired a local individual, lives in Ulster County.
The corporate office.
And the guy's been great. We polled all of the staff at the different buildings, and he's been great. He hasn't missed one day of
And
work
we
in
are
the
not
entire
easy to
year.
please. Let me just-
And that counts all supplies? They pay for all
We
supplies?
furnish the supplies. They furnish the labor.
And they do like shampooing of the carpets and things of that nature, wax the floors, or?
If we need that, they do that as well. Yeah.
And that's part of the
They'll
price, or
strip
that
the
in
floors.
addition?
Yes. Yep. They'll do that.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Robert.
Right.
Next, Jeff,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Very good. And yourself?
Good, thank you.
First up, we went out to bid for doing some south span pedestrian walkway steel repairs at Newburgh Beacon. Some of the walking surface diamond plates have holes in them, and the supporting members were having some section loss and deterioration. So we're going to be replacing about quite a bit of areas, about 75 different areas along that are typically located a floor beam extension area where moisture was getting underneath and it was rotting out from underneath. So we're going to be replacing the support steelwork and the plates. We went out to bid. Nine bidders received the proposal package. We received 3 bids. Piasecki was the apparent low bidder at $1,269,500. The engineer's estimate was $2,450,000. And the other 2 bidders, as you can see from the packet, were closer to the $2 million and $2.4 million range. Piasecki is prepared to do the project for the cost. They've done a lot of work for us in the past, and from what I can understand is their scaffolding system for doing this, they use something similar to this at Rip Van Winkle sidewalk repairs. So they're going to be using their same kind of system, and that's really where the cost savings for them is going to be with this project.
Motion, please.
So,
Second. Questions?
is this Corten scale or is this?
It's Core 10.
It is, this is Corten scale.
No questions? All in
What was the
favor?
next bidder?
The next bidder was 1.9 million, and then Arvin was at 2.3 million.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You did that?
Yeah, I see it now. I don't see the other, oh, there it is on the back, I'm sorry. I'm an old guy, you know, you gotta get
No,
together.
sorry, okay.
Carl, we're not
Forget
getting,
it, yes.
Carl, we're not gonna get more money, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
You pay me well, anyway. Okay.
Big
Okay.
savings.
I haven't asked for a raise in 15 years.
It's $1 million.
Next up is,
That's unbelievable.
we're looking to buy a Vermac, or Ventrac compact tractor. Once we get the Empire State Trail temporary barrier up on the Kingston Bridge, we're gonna have a 4-foot wide sidewalk there that we're gonna have to remove snow from. So we've been looking around for quite a bit for a new snow blowing machine, and we found a used machine that will work. We've seen it. We advertised then in the contract reporter. We received 2 bids. The low bidder was Keel Equipment at $24,900. We plan on using this as a snow blower at Kingston in the wintertime, and then up at Rip Van Winkle as a lawnmower for some of the steeper slopes up there.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
questions?
I think we ought to send an ask if the Empire Trail will help us purchase it.
We did, Ron. They said no. Only kidding. All right, any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye. Jobs in progress report.
Jobs in progress at Rip Van Winkle. The link and joint rehab project is in its final stage. Kingston, the Empire State Trail will begin field work in July. And the Newburgh Beacon Bridges, the I-84 9W deck rehab is in its final stage of deck replacement. We're hoping to get traffic reestablished there in September.
Let's accept the jobs progress.
Second, please.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Brian,
Good afternoon.
how you doing? Good.
Okay, first up is the monthly investment report. There are 8 investments for the month, all of a routine nature. All of those are reflected in the investment inventory. Currently, the maintenance reserve fund stands at a balance of $51.4 million. Yield for the month dropped slightly. We're starting to see the effects of some reductions in interest rates.
Accept the investment.
Second,
Second.
questions? All in favor, say aye.
Okay, next up is the annual maintenance reserve fund balance determination as required by section 5.03 of the bond resolution. Effectively, it takes 3 years, the current and the coming 2 years of the previously approved capital program and considers that the balance necessary to support the bridges. It's $129,805,000, a certificate of the consulting engineer, and a copy of the cover of the capital program is attached.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second. And isn't this supposed to be approximately the cost of one bridge?
No, that's actually, has to do with the insurance balance
Oh, that's
determination.
it. Oh.
This has to do with the maintenance of the bridges and sets a ceiling by which if we exceeded that balance in the fund, we would roll money into the general fund under the bond resolution.
Now, this sets the reserve fund goal at $130 million. Currently have a balance of $51 million. How are we going to resolve that issue?
In the most recent budget and financial plan, it discusses the timing of a
Okay,
toll
we do
schedule
have to,
revision.
that's what's,
What'd you say, Brian?
A toll schedule revision.
we all recognize that we've got to take some steps to reconcile that.
Okay. And I'm sorry.
Did we vote? We did not vote, correct?
Yes,
You did.
on
Maintenance.
maintenance reserve, we did.
You sure?
Higgins and Russell.
You sure?
Commissioners.
Positive.
Okay,
That's correct.
thank you.
You would have heard us yelling.
Exactly.
Very good. The last up is the 3 months ending first quarter 2019 quarterly operations report. As noted in the report, traffic was up 2.43%, with revenue up corresponding 2.59%. Operating expenses were up 2.21%, and maintenance or capital improvement spending was up 7.32%. This report is provided solely for information purposes, no action is required by the board.
Any questions? If not,
So I just figured there are total liabilities for fund balance. You didn't spell it out for you, I have to count the zeros.
I'm sorry, we can go through and clarify. Honestly, these particular spreadsheets we've retained for historical purposes because a true GASB financial statement will really only prepare once a year. Okay, to do so otherwise we would have to contract actuaries to begin making
I'll
estimates.
give you a quick summary of the financial.
That's their purpose.
It's a little more than coffee money.
thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg? How you doing, Greg?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So I just have one item for you. It's our annual Microsoft licensing. This is pricing is provided via OGS state contract. And we are able to break it's a 3-year license agreement. We're able to break it down into 3 equal payments, 1 per year. The total this year is $30,069.74.
Second, please.
Second.
Question? Greg needs a question, somebody has another question. If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me off easy this one.
Yeah, I guess so. Next, Chris,
How are you?
how are you?
Good. A few items this month. We'll start out, we're supplemental agreement with Catch for fiber and PLC upgrade at the Newburgh North Span. So in 2016, we completed a similar job where we upgraded the fiber and programmable logic controllers used to manage our variable message signs and lane use signals on the bridge. We are looking to complete the full upgrade on the north span, and we are requesting a not to exceed amount of $674,895.
So,
Second, please.
second.
Question?
How did we get to this? Did they bid this, or is this, how did we?
So Catch has kind of a unique part of this. They are sole source on the Dynac system, which is used to program the signs. So this is the same method we use for the south span. Shups will be doing all the fiber work for Shep.
How can we control cost of it? How do we know it's a legitimate?
As far as the programmable logic controllers,
Yeah, well,
it's kind of, it's a
how do
unique
we know
technology.
674,000 is a reasonable number for this job?
Based on the last job, I mean, we're doing a longer run as far as fiber, so there's about an additional 5,000 feet on one of the larger fibers that we're running. And then, yeah, it's really just comparing it to the last time we did this, which was 3 years ago.
I was just frankly amazed at how much money it was,
Yeah.
just
That
for the
was shocking.
VMS, this is just for the VMS signs?
Yeah, but it's also the fiber network.
Right, I
That's
understand.
actually, the fiber portion is the majority of the cost, and that's gonna be done by Shups. So that's really replacing old and outdated, and it's really unreliable at this point. We've had different breaks, communication loss, and this is what really powers our entire ITS system.
Okay.
So that's the majority of the cost is actually coming on the fiber side and not on the PLC side. But they all communicate together. It's all necessary to operate all.
Fiber is basically the backbone of a lot of the electronic systems for the
Yeah,
entire
I
bridge.
understand.
I have no problem with the
Functions as a
purpose of the
ring.
thing, but I have a problem with how we're making a commitment to spend almost
Okay.
$700,000. In the future, we need to, less sole sourcing or more, do bids or proposals or something so that.
Sole source on the Dynac system, but we do advertise for the ITS consultant, that's a separate.
Yeah, so
So we do go out for an RFP. The issue is that we go and due to the fact that we have so much equipment and we do several multi-year long projects, we have a tendency to go and bring on like a standby consultant, if you will, to support our systems. And for the period we're in right now, that is
Catch.
Catch.
Yeah, so we'll be going out for bid, we'll be going back out for the ITS consultant. We're in the final year of Catch's contract, so we'll definitely take that into account going forward.
But we do actually RFP Catch
Yes.
periodically.
I understand that, but once they get the job, then they pretty much write their own.
True, but at the same time, there have been other instances where we have gone out because we didn't think Catch was going to be reasonable and we've gone out for separate contracts. It really has been a judgment call.
Any other questions? If not,
I need a second.
Sure.
Second, please.
Second.
No other question, all in favor say aye. Next.
So the next part is broadband consulting contract extension. This is for, in 2012, we procured the services of broadband consulting. They provide us with marketing and contracting advice on the fiber optic leases. Through 2026, the authority expects to see $4.362 million in net revenue from the duration of our program and current leases we have. Based on the successful record, I'm recommending an extension of a 2-year period for this.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Question?
Not a question, but just, I think it's important that we do recognize the record. This is a pretty good chunk of money as a net revenue to the bridge authority.
That we didn't have probably how many years ago?
So
9
we
years
started,
ago?
yeah, 9 years ago, this was not in existence,
Yeah.
we weren't collecting revenue to the system.
So this is just approving the contract, there's no money associated with this?
No, so Glenn gets paid on the terms of each deal
Okay.
negotiated, and then if we have him do any other work, he gets paid on an hourly basis, which is $150 an hour, 100 for travel.
Okay.
So this is an extension of the original process contract?
Correct.
All in favor? Next.
All right, last part. So this is in 2013 when we did the automatic toll payment machines at the 3 smaller facilities. We also installed automatic license plate readers at just those facilities. So now it's kind of time to refresh the system. This is going to include a new server, redundant server to ensure that we have access to the data in case there's a primary failure. We're also going to be purchasing an additional camera unit in case one of the field system fails. We're requesting a not to exceed $50,000, which includes contingency in the event we need additional days of service from the engineers at LSAG, or as we're refreshing things, on occasion other units will fail.
So moved.
Second.
No questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Frank?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Good, thanks.
Great. I have one item for your consideration today, and that is to pay the New York State Thruway bill for Easy Pass expenses incurred in the first quarter of 2019 in the amount of $999,182.84.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
For the record, this is subject to our contract with the Thruway for regular services. That's how it comes to us.
If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Next, we have report to the board from our acting executive director.
Thank you,
Aaron.
Chairman. In my monthly activity report, nothing that I need your concurrence with, except item 5, donations to outside entities. Every year we donate to the Out of the Darkness Suicide Prevention Walk. We'd like to do that again with your support. That's a $1,000 sponsorship for this year. The Out of the Darkness Walk will be on September 29th at Walkway Over the Hudson, 9:30 a.m. And we always have a big contingent that turns out for that.
We need a
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor say aye. Next.
Thank
revenue.
you.
Or
Second, we've got our traffic and revenue analysis. I'd like to just read a couple of things into the record. The New York State Bridge Authority's revenues are $279,726, above last year's receipts. And that's an increase of 1.22%. The revenue decreased in May of 2019, even with an overall increase in traffic, as a result of commercial traffic seeing a large decrease. Moving on to the Easy Pass sales analysis, year to date, The 2019 tag sales are 3,368 compared to 4,069 sold year-to-date 2018, a decrease of 17.2%. This is the seventh full year where the authority is selling tags in our toll booths. And finally, I have our Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley monthly report, and those highlights include that the Hudson River Skywalk grand opening was a huge success, as we discussed at the opening of the meeting. We also,
Excuse me, just for a lot of thanks to Tara regarding the
Thank you.
success of the Skywalk.
thank you, Chairman. The Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley Board meeting took place last month, and the details are included on that. We had 2 master teacher events this past month, and we also we are providing area city schools with the opportunity to apply for grant funds to pay for their school bus visits for their students to visit our bridges. And that's all I've got on our reports.
Thank you for that report. You want to,
Go into new business?
well, we're going to do this resolution here about the,
Yeah, it's new business.
oh, you'll be on, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
That's okay.
All right, any presentations to the board? No one? Old business, new business, I'm sorry, Tara, go on.
Thank you, Chairman. I am bringing to the board the Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley Funding and Operating Procedures Manual. In July of 2016, Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley hired a director, Kathy Burke, who is a New York State certified teacher with an MS in education. She's an established author and researcher of the NYSBA bridges. Began a critical new phase of promoting the rich history of the NYSBA bridges and directing Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley to a place among the notable historic organizations in the Hudson Valley. Due to this success, I asked the board to renew the Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley internal operating procedures with a small increase from last year, that's $914, and with accompanying resolution, which will allow for renewing Ms. Burke's employment agreement for another year and ancillary to salary and administrative expenses.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Any questions? If not, I think Kathy has done a great job there.
Absolutely.
You know, Tara's been overseeing that, so between the two of them, they had it very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Vote. Did they vote?
No, we did not vote yet. Any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Do we have any attorney-client privilege that we're
No.
going to? Before we adjourn, I just want to be noted that the commissioners all completed certificate of completion regarding mandatory job ethics training course. So please file that on record. Taught by our counsel, Carl Whitbeck. If no other questions, a motion to adjourn, please.
The same pay, by the way.
With the same pay. Next meeting is July 18, 2019 at 3 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you.